Well, hello again, First Baptist Church Lockport. This is Brother Ryan once more, coming to you, with some additional information about our reopening here in a few weeks. And so, as I mentioned in a video this past week, I believe I put that one out on Friday, we stated that the deacons and I had met and decided that it was best to delay our opening from 2 weeks from yesterday. So that will be May 31st. And so on May 31st, we will have our first physical worship returning after this COVID-19 virus stay-at-home mandates that we've been asked to do from our governor's office. However, I mentioned in that video that we would be sending out letters and emails, and then I would be releasing another video that would give in greater detail what we are doing to try to keep everyone safe and where some guidelines have been asked of us that we are going to try our best to maintain on that May 31st reopening date. And I want to share those with you now, if you've got just a few moments to bear with me. So first off, our worship services will begin at 11 a.m. on May 31st. And so I know we normally start at 10:45, but we're going to go on and push that back to 11 for just a little bit. That will give us some time to do some of the things we're going to talk about here in just a moment. And in regards to that, Sunday school will be canceled until further notice. We will be coming back to Sunday school. Sunday school will have a reopening as well, but right now there's just too many guidelines based on space and how many people you can have in a space. And plus, again, as I mentioned before, and as you'll also, as soon as your letters and if you are signed up with our emails, as soon as you receive those, you'll notice that one of our big and most important goals in all this is to keep everyone as safe as possible, and it's just hard to do that in our small classrooms that we have right now. But I do look forward to when we can have Sunday school once more like we normally would. Second, we ask that all members who attend to please wear masks. And so we understand that there are some limitations with that, and so let's get into those really quickly. If you do not have a mask, we have masks here at the church, and we would be happy to give you one if you don't have one. And so, again, if you have one of your own, go on and bring it, go on and wear it. They'll very likely be more comfortable, but we do have some good quality masks that have been provided to us from the Lafourche Parish office, and so those are available if we have visitors or if we have members who don't have a mask already. Second, children under the age of 10 do not need, or do not have to, I should say, to wear a mask. It is up to you as the parents or the grandparents, up to your discretion whether or not you think your child will be good with wearing a mask. We understand that with the kids, they're going to want to tug at them, they're going to want to pull at them. Some, this is a scary time for them. They've had kind of their lives upended. And so we don't want to make this any more difficult on them or on you as their caretakers. Though we do ask that you please keep them near you for the duration of the service and not let them run all over the place. Again, we understand kids will be kids, but just please keep a close eye on them as we're trying to stem any possible infections that may come from our meeting again. Next, we will also have the nursery available if you need those services. And so if you've got a really little one and, again, you're needing nursery services, that will be open for you as well if you come and choose to be part of our physical worship on May 31st. Our third big item, we're going to be maintaining social distancing during the service. And so you may ask, what does that look like? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have ushers seating everyone who comes in. And so we are actually, when you arrive on that Sunday morning, here's a little bit about what it's going to look like. When you arrive and you pull up, you're going to walk up and we're going to have someone posted by the front door, and we're going to ask you to wait just a moment. We're going to try to have some markings out in under the awning that kind of mark off 6 feet, and we're just going to form a line. And so we're going to be seating people as you show up, and so you'll come in, or you'll come to the door. We'll have an usher there waiting for you. They'll take you and your family, and if you've got multiple people with you, and they will seat you. Our goal is to try to have one row in between each group, and then 2 chairs in between each family group. And so this should produce the right amount of space between everyone and also allow us to be able to maximize the space that we have in our in our sanctuary. We want to keep wait times at a minimum. We understand that there will be a little bit of standing involved, but we want to make sure that whatever wait time that you have is as small as possible. And so if the weather is good, if the weather's pretty, if we've got sunshine and it's not raining, we'll have chairs outside that will be available for you. If you have trouble standing for long periods of time, we'll make sure that you have a chair where you can wait a little more comfortably while we do that. And then also we have a very nice awning out in the front, which will provide some shade as well and kind of keep us out of the heat. I know some of this stuff isn't optimal, but again, these are some of the plans that we've got in place just to keep everyone safe. Let's see. Oh, that reminds me. In that same regard, if we have inclement weather, so if it's raining, if it's storming, we will not make you stand outside. Do not worry about that. However, we will bring you in and we will start a line at the door to the sanctuary and line you up in the foyer and on into the fellowship hall as we seat you. Again, we want to keep that line as short as possible, so we're going to have 6 ushers, an additional 2 ushers than what we normally would, handling that to try to make sure we can keep everybody moving and keep everybody flowing. Let's see. Next, we have to please limit handshakes and hugs as much as possible. I will be as excited as anyone else to see each of your smiling faces. I have missed you dearly during this time, and I look forward to being able to bring God's word to you in person and just to be able to see how you're doing. But as happy as I'll be to see you and as happy as you'll be to see each other, we're all going to need to make sure we keep our handshakes and hugs to a minimum just because that's a close physical contact and we want to minimize the sharing of germs as much as we can. Next, if you have a compromised immune system, respiratory problems, autoimmune disorder, if you're currently undergoing chemo treatments, anything like that to where you might be at higher risk for COVID-19, we're going to ask that you exercise your own discretion. We're not going to tell you to stay home, but again, exercise your own discretion whether or not you think you are ready to come back just yet. And there is no problem if you don't feel like you're ready yet. We have the live stream ready to go. The live stream, as I've mentioned in previous videos and also have mentioned in the letter going out to everyone, the live stream is a permanent part of our worship service now. That will be something we'll continue to do and continue to maintain. And so if you're uncomfortable for any reason at all, health-related, personal, family, whatever it may be, go on, feel free to stay home. There is no problem. And we are just in phase 1. We are very early in the reopening, and so we fully understand that some of you may not want to risk that just yet, and there's no need for you to. We have an excellent live stream right now, a live stream we're very proud of and continuing to improve week by week, and so go on and enjoy that at home and enjoy that in the safety of your home. In regard to greeting, normally at the end of the service, I stand at the back, I greet everyone, I shake your hands, I hug your neck. In regards to a previous point where I mentioned about the limiting of handshakes and everything, I will still be posted at the back. I still want to talk to you. I still want to hear how you and your family are doing and to be able to speak with you for a moment after the service. But I will also be foregoing any handshakes and hugs as well, and we'll be wearing a mask. I won't have a mask during the message so that you can best hear me, but during the rest of the service, as I'm talking to people, greeting people, and moving around, you'll see me in a mask as well. And then our last thing to really get to, and I know this is a concern that's been brought up before, is we are, due to the governor's office limitation, we are only able to have 25% of our total seating capacity within our sanctuary at a given point in time. So to put it a little more simply, that means we are only able to have 65 people in our sanctuary at one point in time. The good news about that is most of the time on our Sunday service, I've got posted on a whiteboard kind of here behind me. It's off camera a little bit. But on that whiteboard, I've been keeping track, or was keeping track, of our weekly attendance before COVID-19 shut us down a little bit, or at least shut down our physical worship. And on that board, we really only have, as I look back, we only have 1 week, which was on March 1st, where we hit 76 people. But the 3 weeks prior to when we shut down for COVID-19, we were well within our numbers. We were about 60 to 65, and that's what our total number can be anyways. And so I don't expect, nor do the deacons expect, that we'll have too many problems, but I understand people are excited. There's also, we've had a lot of additional people tune into our live stream these last few weeks, and so we may have some visitors with us that kind of move those numbers up a little bit. If that happens to be the case, we do have a contingency plan. We have a small TV, and again, albeit it's a small one, but it will do for right now. And if we reach that 65 person capacity within our sanctuary, we will move people into the fellowship hall. We've got chairs, we'll have things set up, and I will get the live stream going in there. It takes just a moment to hook it up, and I'll hook my laptop up to the TV, and we'll have the live stream in there and available so that people are still able to come and physically worship here, though we may just have to move them to another part of our building to accommodate for everybody. But again, we'll worry about that when we get there, and it may not even be anything to be concerned with. It may be a non-problem. But that is a good problem to have, and to be honest, a problem I hope we do have. I do hope we have some additional visitors, and as I've mentioned over and over and over again, am so excited to be able to see you again. But with that, I wish you all the best. God bless. If you have any questions or concerns or thoughts about our COVID-19 re-entry plan, please feel free, give me a comment, shoot me some message on Facebook, give me a call, shoot me a text, give me an email. Several of you received emails today if you had one on file with the church, which had this full plan written out. We'll also have this plan available here at the church, and then be watching your mailbox here in the next few days, as a physical letter should be making its way to you. If by the end of the week you do not receive a letter or did not receive an email, that may just mean that we don't have either an updated email or mailing address for you, or that maybe we need to get that from you. And so if that's the case, come say Thursday or Friday this week, please give us a call here. Either call me or call one of the deacons, and we'll get you added to that list and make sure that you receive one and get one from now on. But again, with that, God bless. I pray that you stay well through all of this. And it is an honor and a pleasure to be your pastor, and I'm excited to be able to physically be able to preach and bring God's word to you again. So have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.